My name is Kuro, and this is the PlayStation Point. I'm your host. Today with me is Armando and Tyler. So, we got a lot to talk about today with E3 coming up. We have news, predictions, and then what we're going to have for PlayStation Plus games for June.
All right, sweet. Oh, by the way, this is a video podcast for the very first time.
Yay!
Yeah, it's apparently things were working, so
Yeah.
doing it again.
Well, actually, this is the second video podcast, but the first one was only exclusive to Patreons. So, yeah, become a patron, and you can get access to that podcast. Plug.
Yep.
It's only $1 a month.
Yeah. All right. So PlayStation Plus games for June. We have NBA 2K16. So the very first retail game in a while. So I hope that one was the one that you guys were looking forward to. Then it's Gone Home console edition for PS4. Echo Chrome for PS3. Siren Blood Curse episode 1 through 12 on PS3. God of War Chains of Olympus for Vita. And Little Deviants for Vita. What do you guys think about this lineup?
Any titles.
Well, Gone Home won an Indie Game of the Year award back in 2014 at the EGAs, or the VGAs, sorry. And Siren Blood Curse is a survival horror game where it uses dynamic cameras to let you see through the perspective of the bad thing following you and chasing you. It's got a pretty good tone to it, but it's a mixed reception kind of survival horror game. It's one of those cult classic kind of things like Deadly Premonition.
Okay.
I mean, if it's free, so give it a shot. So, I mean, I think I just downloaded a God of War game. I think it was Ghost of Sparta. It was free, but
I won't have time until later this month.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Little Deviants though. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I don't have that game. It's one of the Vita games that I don't own. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to dig into Siren Blood Curse because I love survival horror.
So I'm gonna. Does it have a platinum trophy? Do you know?
You're not even gonna platinum it until you beat Persona 4 Golden and platinum it. You haven't even worked on that yet in like a year.
I know, but hey, I like to keep my.
I've started my second playthrough at this point. You still haven't platinumed the damn thing.
I started that one too. Oh, so it does. Siren, the Blood Curse doesn't have a platinum trophy. It doesn't even have a trophy. So.
Yeah, it's a really early PS3 game.
Yeah,
it's like before they had the regulation trophies.
Okay.
Actually,
we're talking like early first or two years or something.
I'll still give it a shot.
When the HDD was only like 6 gigs. I don't know.
I think I'll still give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Little Deviants. And maybe I'll try it out. NBA 2K16 because it's been a while since I played a basketball game. So.
I mean, I would rather play it on PS4 than Wii U because wasn't NBA 2K13 like a 24 gig install on the Wii U?
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. It's one of the largest file sizes for any Wii U game like ever.
What the fuck is wrong with the Wii U?
It has surprisingly fantastic file compression, but some companies don't know how the hell to use it. Like,
yep.
Like we're talking about a company that can fit a game into maybe 8 gigs, compared to a game on the PS4 or Xbox One that can be like 50 or 60 gigs in size, take up a tenth of your hard drive. So I mean, it's black and white, really.
So overall, though, I think it's a pretty solid PlayStation Plus lineup.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Last month wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
So why don't we start talking about the news to E3?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
So,
what happened? We're a week
Wait.
away from E3, and I bet nothing has happened, right?
Yeah, it's really weird that companies are just now starting to pour out news when they could have waited for them
Yeah,
to have like the big deal
yeah,
review.
like we could have waited until Sony's press conference for them to say, "Oh, hey, we're giving Persona 5 a release date for like Valentine's. Also, here are these nice special editions that they're going to sell out like immediately on Amazon."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Persona 5 got a release date in North America. It's coming out
Mhm.
on February 14th.
Another release
Um,
date.
Yeah, and I was right. So I knew it was going to come out. Well, I predicted that it was going to be pushed back to early 2017, so I was right about that. Then Alice also announced some different editions for the game. There's a Steelbook launch edition, so that's going to be limited just for the launch window for that game. And then there's a super nice special edition that's called Take Your Heart Edition.
It's like $90 without any discounts from Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
It has
99.
plushie, art book, soundtrack bag, nice casing. It's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Kudo said, it's $18.99, $89.99.
If it's $18.99, I will pre-order that instead.
So it comes with a soundtrack, 4-inch Morgana plush, 64-page hardbook art cover. So that's good. It's in hardbook hardcover.
Yeah.
A steelbook and a school bag.
The school bag is like the only major deciding thing for me. Like I said before we started the show. Like I said before we started the show, I'm a bigger fan of steelbooks than a lot of people I know. So that was like the deciding thing. And honestly, a $40 school bag, and I don't even go to school. You know?
I'm going to school, so I mean.
Are you gonna take it with you?
She would totally take it with her.
Well,
She'd have all of her textbooks in it.
No, I wouldn't carry textbooks. I'd carry those, but that depends how many textbooks. If it's one, fine. If it's two, fuck that. I'm taking my regular backpack.
Fair enough.
So this compared to Japan's collector's edition that comes with the soundtrack of all Persona games.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely different because like they saw that probably the American audience is more geared towards actual like things they can use versus
the
like,
thing is that
artwork.
the thing is that the Persona side series in Japan was huge from the beginning, but here it didn't catch on until Persona 3. So it doesn't really matter too much for us if we were to get soundtracks of all the Persona games, because a lot of the Western audience wouldn't even know what the hell the tracks from Persona 1 or 2 were from. So, I mean, I guess it's only fair.
Yeah, plus Japan's collector's edition is called the 20th anniversary edition, so that's, I mean, that means something.
That's also very true, yeah. It's also an important fact that there are probably a decent amount of Persona fans who have never played a base Shin Megami Tensei game ever. Yeah,
that too. So this collector's edition was, well, it was announced in the very early in the morning today when we were recording this on
6 a.m.
I was sleeping.
I was asleep too.
I was awake and I saw it sell out in like 5 minutes.
The fuck?
So it was
gone.
It went up on Amazon around 6 a.m.
Yeah.
My time, or 5 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Why?
I have a Twitter account that I follow called Cheap Ass Gamer that constantly tweets about the sales and stuff. They tweeted it out 3 hours late.
Yeah.
They were way off of it. Like, I was surprised I even was able to pre-order the Steelbook.
It's still up.
I would thought that would be out, yeah.
So it went up.
I'm guessing people are still waiting for the stock. Yeah, people are probably still waiting for stock.
It went up really early in the morning. Yeah, that's what everyone wants. When I woke up, it just sold out.
Yeah,
I woke up like 5 minutes after it sold out. So
yeah, it was.
I was so pissed.
You were so pissed. It's like a limited quantity. They only maybe make 50,000 or something like that.
No, I was on my phone checking Twitter before I was gonna take a shower, and I was like, wait, what's this about Persona 5? What limitation? What the fuck's going on? And I'm scrolling, and it's like, no one's telling me where it is! Motherfucker!
Well, it was.
Yeah, I saw that the Persona 5 date got pushed back. I saw the box art, and then immediately Arms was just like, fuck! And then I see the tweet that he made in response to that. It's just like, oh, there was a special edition. It's already sold out. Figures.
Well, then, like, apparently at E3, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give out Persona 5 limited edition bags, and there's gonna be a Morgana hat in it. And I was like, ah!
Yeah.
Oh, I already got my connections to try to get me one.
Yeah.
Get me one too!
I know Arms too well, and watching his Twitter account is like a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
Like, one day you are the most excited motherfucker, and then another day you are inconsolably depressed about something.
Yes, I can attest to this.
Yeah, I can attest to it too. I've been following him for 4 years.
Well, even if you take a look at my timeline right now, when I tweeted that thing when Persona that limited edition sold out,
You
I
can
was
look
so
at his
pissed.
you can look at his timeline.
Yeah, yeah. And then
He
when I
goes
managed to
from
figure out, like,
excited about Persona 5 to pissed that he didn't get Persona 5.
I'm all like, life sucks.
Yeah, life
And then
sucks.
whenever-
I'm done. I'm done. Game over. I'm done. Nobody talk to me for today.
And when then I managed to pre-order, I'm all like, life is good.
Yeah.
That collector's edition, I think it's still up on. It went back up on Amazon. I think it's still available there. It's
yeah, I
available.
just pre-ordered it so I could get the different discount.
Yeah.
And it's available on GameStop.com. I don't think it's been available on any of Canada's retailers yet.
No, no, it's not.
And it's gonna be in the U.S. It's gonna be on Best Buy, Walmart, and Target, but it's still not up yet. So
Yeah, so you can still pre-order it on Amazon, or if you really can't, go to GameStop. Unfortunately, if you're in the EU, I'm sorry, Sega hates you.
yeah.
Sega Atlas is. I saw somebody tweeting out about it. I think you've been retweeting it, Arms. Some guy's talking about it. Like he's given a slight hint that there is news coming soon for Europe. So no worries. I mean, at least we live in a console generation where the consoles are backwards compatible, or region free rather, the PS4.
You know what's interesting is on the Amazon listing it says it's by Sega.
Yeah, Sega's the new publisher.
But then on
like it's technically Atlas.
Atlas still self-publishes, but it is like they are technically bought by Sega now.
Yeah.
Because
their former owner.
I know it's Atlas.
Yeah, their former owner went bankrupt, and then Atlas got bought by Sega, but Sega doesn't really get involved with Atlas stuff because Atlas knows better than to let Sega get involved with anything.
Well, no, Sega's like, hey, you got something good going on. We're not taking that away. We're not touching it. We're gonna keep letting you do what you do.
Yeah. I mean, to be completely honest, it's not like Atlas needed to go to Sega or anything. I expect Atlas to not need to go to Sega for funding or anything because they already make plenty of money from the Shin Megami Tensei series alone. Like they're just now re-releasing Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse on the 3DS, which is like the ultimate edition for Shin Megami Tensei 4, and then they released Dancing All Night last year.
Yeah, well, even a few, I think 2 months ago, they announced that Sega was going to start publishing Atlas games. And I think the first one is going to be Shin Megami Tensei. Maybe that's the last one Atlas is going to self-publish.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the stuff we have right now is going to be the last of Atlas self-published.
Yeah. All right. So, anything more to add about Persona 5? We're probably gonna get a trailer next week.
Yeah. I actually really just need to like finish my second playthrough. Well, I need to restart my playthrough of Persona 4 Golden and make it 100%. I don't know if I'll get a platinum trophy, but I need to find a new guide that's 100%ing it.
I still need to finish my first playthrough, but I decided to start my second playthrough on very hard mode. And
what's wrong with you?
I know, the moment I fought the first boss, I realized my mistake, but I'm still going with it.
Oh god.
I don't think anyone in their right mind has ever died to Jiraiya. But I have, and I feel awful.
You should.
It's hard.
That's
He
your
has-
fault for putting
he
it on
has an
that
attack-
difficulty.
He has an attack boost on very hard. I didn't expect it. He takes 10 turns to kill. It's weird.
Wow.
I'm scared.
All right. Okay then.
Just worries me what's gonna happen when I get to heaven or something.
Oh,
You're fucked.
Oh God.
Let's see if you can even get it, Evan.
Time to max out the level cap before I even finish the first dungeon.
All right. So moving
Oh.
on. So today, again, when we're recording this on Tuesday, June 7th, an image leaked, and it showed Injustice 2.
Should we really be surprised about that, though? It's like
The
a
leak
game
or
people
Injustice?
love. Well, Injustice 2 being like a possibility.
I don't think so. I mean, when did the last game come out?
I don't
Injustice
It was
was
late PS3 era, right?
2012? Because Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition was released on the later platforms too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2012 because that's because it also came out on Wii U.
Yeah,
So
and
2012.
PS Vita.
Oh, Vita, yes.
2013.
On Vita.
2013 for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii U.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we know about this. Just an image. It showed Batman and the Flash about to fight each
I
other.
expect them to make a sequel to Injustice because they only really covered the first arc of the Injustice comics, if I remember correctly, and they still have a lot left to cover for Injustice 2. Like, they still have the second arc left. Platforms: Android, iOS, Windows, PS3, PS4, Vita, Wii U, and 360.
Yeah. And then later Xbox One and PS4.
No, not Xbox One, just PS4.
Oh, really? It didn't come out on Xbox One?
Yeah, I mean, it got put on Windows.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because Windows 10 can play, I think, Xbox One games?
Yes, it can. Using Smart Glass and stuff. The same thing goes for PS4 now, because they have the remote play. So, which is really weird that only Windows 10 would be able to do remote play for PS4, but whatever.
All right. In more announcements, I guess, Watch Dogs 2 was teased, although we saw this coming because it leaked. So
Yeah. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for a lot of the AAA developers because I know for a fact that a lot of these reveals they wanted them to be bombshells, basically.
Yeah.
Like big reveals that would get people hyped for their conference.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And like it's like a snowball effect too, because after something like that leaks out, then other companies are just like, oh shit, we gotta do something in order to make us relevant before E3 so that people get excited for our conference. And now everybody is essentially dooming their respective conferences to
well, I mean, that's
be
what happened to
whatever.
Nintendo last year.
Yeah, that is true.
That,
I
like,
mean, they
most
still
of
had a
the
couple
games were,
bombshells, but
well, I mean, like, yeah, but like most of the games were leaked out, so people are just like, about the conference, and
yeah.
Nintendo was like, what the fuck? Like, we're trying to do this, and it's like, well, I don't know what you can do about it other than keep your sources like to a minimum because there's always going to be someone trying to leak it.
I was actually very impressed by last year's conferences, especially in regards to Square Enix. Like, they kept things really tightly packed in. Like, they didn't have any major leaks whatsoever towards the reveal of the Hitman reboot, the Final Fantasy VII remake. It was damn impressive that they were able to keep things under the radar. It was impressive. Especially the Final Fantasy VII remake, when you think about it. Like, a motherfucking Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
How did that never get leaked?
That was surprising. Too bad the Final Fantasy thing they did this year leaked.
Yeah. Well, two things leaked, actually. They also announced Final Fantasy XII HD, which I'm excited for because Final Fantasy XII is what I would consider to be better than Xenoblade Chronicles.
I don't give a fuck about Final Fantasy, so...
Whatever, to each their own.
All right. And okay, so Watch Dogs 2 again. We saw this coming.
Mhm.
So I
It
think
leaked weeks ago. The game will be set in San Francisco instead
it's
of
gonna be interesting,
yeah.
actually.
Is it going to be a different antagonist, or
Protagonist.
a different protagonist?
I think
Sorry,
so. Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm
And
tired.
Yeah.
and we'll get an official trailer on June 8th. So that's tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So by the time this video is public, the trailer will already be out. So, and guess what leaked? The release date for the game leaked on IGN on an ad on IGN. So
Wow.
the game is supposed to come out on November 15th.
That's pretty good considering like that's holiday season.
Yeah.
So
That tends to be the Ubisoft trend, actually, is having games like that release on holidays.
Mhm.
Sometimes they pull that mark a little too close, though. I remember Rainbow Six Siege coming out on December 4th, which is like D-Day for holiday gifts,
people are already like at that point people are last minute shopping and
Yeah,
it,
they're looking for that one
it's
gift.
or no, some people do wait to the day before, like Christmas Eve. I wish I was joking about this shit, but people do it. And honestly, it would be better if we all just got our Christmas shopping done like right after Thanksgiving, and then we could just worry about other shit when we get to like Christmas.
I would rather worry about Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving and then, sleep it off for a couple weeks and go shopping. I like my
Tacoma.
Thanksgiving. Don't take away my turkey.
I didn't get to have Thanksgiving last year because I
Oh.
had to stay to work Black Friday.
Yeah,
So-
I worked Black Friday too. So.
They usually
but I have to go
accommodate
6
for that a lot.
No, I have to drive 7 hours to get to where Thanksgiving dinner is and then come back.
Dang,
They were,
man.
and like my community college didn't get out until like we still had class on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. All right. So yeah, we'll know more about Watch Dogs with the trailer, and then next week with the Ubisoft conference.
now this next title I wasn't surprised about though, Horizon Dawn Zero getting a delay.
Well, yeah, we talked about it weeks ago, and
Yeah.
again, that was another thing that got leaked, and now it's just confirmed to be true.
Yeah. It's more of a matter of like the fact that they've shown us the added polish from the reveal last year. I mean, it looks like things are coming along nicely for them, so I don't really mind a delay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Take your time.
Yeah.
The bad thing though, it's that it's so their release window right now is February 2017, so that's
So
really
you
close to
gotta-
Persona.
So either you have enough money for both, or you gotta choose. And I know
I
what
mean,
I'm getting.
Yeah.
Let's be brutally honest here. You're going to be in either field, depending on your preference of genre. Because I mean, both of them are technically RPGs, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like,
Horizon is an RPG.
But Horizon
Action
Dawn
RPG.
is like not turn-based.
Yeah.
It's more like.
Well, yeah, Persona is one of the few franchises that still does traditional turn-based JRPG mechanics.
Mhm.
And in all fairness, it works. Like, that's the reason why
I'm
it
fine
hits
with
so
that.
heavily here in the West.
Yeah. I think I'll still go for Persona though. Plus, maybe I'll be spending more than just this money on the Steelbook then, because I think I might get the PS3 version, just so I can know what's
Why?
up. I don't know. I just wanna
I
know
have
what's
to.
up.
What
I should
are you
probably
doing?
check. I should probably check to make sure that I pre-ordered the PS4 version.
So the PS3 version doesn't have a Steelbook. So if you got the Steelbook, it's the PS4 version.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
basically,
So,
like,
good.
Sega is like, okay, if you didn't bother to get a PS4, you can still get the PS3 edition.
To
just
be
not
fair,
as shiny.
Persona 5 was originally going to be PS3 exclusive. It was supposed to be like a tail end franchise game or a tail end game for the PS3, like a swan song or something.
And
Same
then
thing
the
went with
PS4
same thing went with the PS2. Persona 4 released 2 years after the PS3 came out, and it was a PS2 game.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't even get re-released on the PS3 except through the PS2 Classics. And even then, it still got a report on the Vita instead.
But it was in
So,
HD, so I mean.
well, yeah, and it also was essentially the FES version of Persona 4, since it added a whole lot more stuff, a whole other.
Like, what I'm saying is that Sony is like really pushing for that PS4 version, and if you're Sony exclusive, they will give you extra money for your budget. So I mean, like, that's probably why Atlas did it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there aren't really a whole lot of noteworthy PS4 RPGs either yet. Like, there are a couple that have like an audience, but there is no RPG I've seen so far that has garnered as huge of an audience in comparison to a lot of other huge RPG like Final Fantasy. Let's be honest. Persona 5 on PS4 is a huge thing to push because it is essentially the JRPG for a lot of people. It's a pretty big deal.
So now that Horizon has been confirmed for a 2017 release, what's gonna happen with Sony's 2016 holiday titles? Because that was poised to be one of those. Now it's.
Well, I mean, I think we'll just have to wait until Sony's E3 conference to see that, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do they have right now that we know about?
We haven't heard shit about Shenmue 3 yet.
Yeah.
Nope, I haven't heard that. We'll probably hear something about that.
Yeah, we will probably.
Yeah, so there's that God of War game that we heard rumors about.
Well, I mean, if we're talking just 2016 holiday,
See, there's damn it, it was the Gran Turismo game.
Yeah, Gran Turismo Sport.
Yeah, that one. So that's one.
Yeah.
Then they have all the PlayStation VR stuff.
Final Fantasy 15 is coming out in the holiday, isn't it?
That's September.
September. Okay, that's within window though, I guess.
Yeah.
The very edge at the beginning.
Yeah, the very, very beginning. From the beginning of time. I'm pretty excited for Gran Turismo Sport, even though I won't be getting it. But I'm a racing sim fan, so.
Well, I mean, I guess like in terms of we're talking about Final Fantasy, then World of Final Fantasy comes out in October, which is more closer to the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
You like chibi Final Fantasy?
And it's for Vita, so even better.
You'd honestly think I would keep better tabs on what the hell comes out during the holiday, so I know what to waste my money on.
I have to make my Christmas list by like Thanksgiving, so.
Well, I know what I'm buying this holiday season, and I was gonna get the PlayStation VR, but I don't know yet. Plus, I think I'm just gonna spend all that money on the Persona 5 Japan.
I think I'll wait to see what I think about VR when I go to E3 Live.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is very true.
Because like I've heard many things about VR, but I actually want to try to see if I can handle it. Because I do get motion sickness from playing things like Portal 2, and then Gravity Rush. So if I'm gonna get motion sick, I don't want to be near it.
Yeah. I mean, they usually have correctional stuff if you wear glasses. So I mean. It should be fine. They usually, the main make or break thing that has to happen with VR, the reason why there is such a high requirement for PC specs for VR is because you have to have a VR headset that runs at a high stable frame rate, like above 90 FPS or something, in order to maintain something that the human eye can keep up with. Because if it's too slow or too fast, then you get motion sick. That's what happens when you have a game that struggles to keep even 30 frames a second or anything like that. That's the major problem with it. That's why stability is a big factor with VR. So if the current VR headsets that everyone's preaching about don't even meet those requirements, then we're in for a lot of trouble because only the PC headsets are able to keep up and the console headsets are going under pretty quickly. So we'll see in time, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So, and like Kuro mentioned earlier, World of Final Fantasy comes out on October 25th, the day before my birthday. So, so it's coming out on PS4 and Vita, and I'm getting the Vita version probably.
I
So-
haven't seen much about it. I want. Is there any? Did they talk about what the style is? What
Yeah,
the
it's like chibi, yeah.
genre?
It's
Oh,
chibi.
which genre? I know there's a trailer. There's a new
Yeah,
trailer.
they did put a trailer. You can Google it after this.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would be interested. I do like RPGs, and the Final Fantasy universe is always one of those really interesting ones to me because it seems like it's the kind of universe that keeps evolving and de-evolving throughout its franchise. Like if you go between Final Fantasies 1 through 7, you go into like this medieval Dungeons and Dragons style thing to this cyber fantasy deal. And then Final Fantasy VIII kind of dials it back a bit, and then Final Fantasy IX is back to the traditional fantasy. And Final Fantasy X brings it back to cyber fantasy, and it goes everywhere and back and forth so quickly. It's mind-boggling.
Mm.
And now Final Fantasy 15 is modern fantasy, which I don't think I've ever seen.
So it looks like World of Final Fantasy is a turn-based RPG.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah.
And then our next announcement is
looking.
actually a lot different from it. It's
Ooh.
actually a platformer, ukulele,
Oh yes, yes.
So yeah,
which
so
if you love Banjo-Kazooie, you'll probably love this, and if you haven't already backed the Kickstarter, unfortunately it is delayed, and it will be out in PS4 in Q1 of 2017, so quarter being like January, February, or March?
They said it was going to be between January to March. That was a
Yeah,
big thing.
so
Their excuse is that they could have released it at the window that they promised in October, but they would rather take the delay to give it a few extra months of polish to make sure that it is up to their standard.
and the game looks nice.
Yeah, they did release a gameplay trailer of what I would consider to be alpha footage, and I'm going to go on a tiny side rant really quick.
Okay.
Why the hell is Ukulele so gorgeous looking at $2.1 million? And Mighty Number 9 with a $4 million budget looks like it wouldn't even perform well on a PS2.
Tyler?
The fuck is this shit?
It's called their employees understand how to actually utilize their assets better.
And the staff is like a tenth of the size for Playtonic. It is incredible how incompetent Concept is.
Concept is run by someone who's actually referred to as a businessman by Hideki Kamina. So yeah, I wouldn't expect much out of him at this point.
I don't expect much either. I'm waiting to get the goddamn game so I can hate it.
Did you back it?
I backed it. I backed it and Ukulele.
Yeah, high five. We backed it.
Yeah,
we both
didn't. I think we've both backed Ukulele and Mighty Number 9.
I didn't back Ukulele.
You didn't back Ukulele? All right. Then I'm going to explain to you my exact emotions about Mighty Number 9 in comparison to Ukulele. After Mighty Number 9 got delayed for the 5th time, I immediately just went, just give us the fucking game so I can hate it. Because they gave me the shitty fucking beta demo that was literally all the files in a folder. It was all the shitty fucking files in a folder. That was like, oh yeah, here's a 150 megabyte download. Just open up the zip folder and extract it into a folder, and you can play the game. It's a demo with only 2 stages, and it hasn't even improved in the past year, apparently.
Oh my god, that's so bullshit.
I know. They gave you a zip file download, and you extract it, and it is the exe and all of the files just loose in folders. And it's like, okay. And by the way, the game hasn't improved graphically since that beta. I can confirm. It still looks as bad, if not worse, for some reason, than what we saw in the trailer. And I look at Ukulele, and I'm like, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Keep it up and take those extra 5 months as long as you make a product I enjoy. Because I have backers confidence when it comes to this thing, and Mighty Number 9 is the first game I think the first game out of the 3 that I've backed so far that is just like, I immediately regret my decision to, because didn't we back it in 2012?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we still had Flood, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember posting an article about Mighty Number 9 on Flood.
It's been 4 fucking years.
It's been 4 years.
Yep.
What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And Ukulele has isn't it barely an 18-month dev cycle? At this point, they spent 3 months to make the footage we saw in their trailer
Yeah.
for the Kickstarter.
Lesson
It's
learned.
been
Don't
like a
back
year,
anything
yeah.
by Keiji Inafune.
KG and the funny thing is that Mighty Number 9 is one of those games that slowly snowballed into the reason why Arms and I are like this. Because not only did they release the demo in that condition and state, which I would barely assume to be a demo I would download from some indie platform or something, then they have the gall to be like, oh yeah, we're making a cartoon and also could you please back this other project that is going to be a game but also an anime, fucking Red Ash, and then they do so poorly on the Kickstarter for that they're just like, oh well, here's a prototype. We're reusing assets from Mighty Number 9 to show you what our vision is, and that is a fucking shitty prototype. You can't even pick up pickups, and then they're just like, oh, we don't have to worry about Kickstarter. A publisher very kindly funded us for the project, so we're gonna do it anyways. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Who said yes to this and why aren't they fired?
A lot of people, $4 million worth of people said yes to this project, and a lot of them are probably denying it. It took them a year to decide what Call was gonna look like.
Oh yeah.
Remember that shit?
Poll?
People were
Remember the
voting
poll?
for that
Yeah,
poll.
I remember
Yeah.
that poll.
It took them a year to decide what the side character was gonna look like.
Do you remember your Mighty number? You know, if you back the
No!
I don't remember it either.
I don't give a shit about a number. I want the fucking game.
Yeah, so if you backed Mighty Number 9, they would give you like a special number.
Yeah, for the forums, which I haven't visited since
Yeah.
2013.
I think I just logged in and that
Because
was
the
it.
progress updates over there are just as depressing as the Kickstarter updates. They
Yeah.
fucked up the final console survey. When they gave you the survey to decide what console you wanted your copy of Mighty Number 9 for, the survey was glitched. And only like 5,000 people got it. And then the servers overloaded and they had to be like, okay, we're resending the surveys. Ignore that. Just ignore that, guys. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? It is a beautiful amount of camaraderie that these guys are finishing their project, but I need to be brutally honest here. They've done 3 projects in the time it took them to finish one game. They made Azure Striker Gunvolt, then they made the Mighty Gunvolt spin-off, and then they're making a sequel for Azure Striker Gunvolt. And now they're making Red Ash after Mighty Number 9. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? How divided is your team? This is not how a dev team works.
Someone is approving all of this, mind you. So,
like, it takes a beautiful amount of mismanagement to manage 5 projects in the meantime, having the most trouble with finishing your first project. Like one guy in a small staff of 4 were able to make Azure Striker Gunvolt and Mighty Gunvolt, and they're working on a sequel for it, and the entire rest of the dev team can't even finish one game. It is incredible.
well, at this point, let me put it this way: his reputation is fucked because do you really think anyone's going to buy his shit after this?
No, nobody will. This is the only reason people even back the Kickstarter to begin with is because of his pedigree.
Yeah.
His pedigree.
It looked like a Mega Man.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
like a
but
Mega Man game.
But
But now
that's
people
why-
are looking at it just like, what the fuck have you done to the Mega Man formula?
But no, that's why Hideki Kamiya called him a businessman, is because he's not actually a director. He was just using his influence to get people to pay for the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, and that's part of why he said that. And like people misunderstood it on Twitter, and he wasn't, misusing English language. He was serious, and now people understand what he was talking about.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've never met the motherfucker, alright? We've never met Keiji Inafune.
Or Kamiya.
But, yeah, or Hideki Kamiya. Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that people have to realize is that we can't really trust this company anymore with this kind of thing, but they already have our money, and they already have a publisher that is willing to fund them for future projects.
So the only thing we can do is just not buy their shit.
Yeah, the only thing we can do is negatively review their shit if it's bad.
And then we give all of our money to Ukulele.
Yeah, the Mighty Number 9 review that is going to be on the website might have a little bias to it. Just a
Can we
little.
just rage stream this game?
Well,
I'm going to rage stream the fuck out of this game.
you,
I'm
you,
waiting for
you,
my copy.
you know why it's gonna be a good review though? Because you backed it.
Yeah, I backed it. I
So,
spent $20 on this
Yeah,
shit.
you paid for it before it came out.
I spent $20 on a shitty demo and a trailer that says that you're going to cry like an anime fan on prom night. What the fuck? Who in Deep Silver decided that fucking trailer was a good idea?
That was
Someone in
trash.
marketing said
That
this
was
is a
trash.
great idea, and then was like horrified to realize apparently it wasn't because it wasn't.
There's a one of the people who works on Mighty Number 9 on Twitter actually said that the Mighty Number 9 trailer for that was terrible. And I think we all unanimously agree. It was a terrible trailer.
Yep.
It was like 30 seconds of them explaining what the hell you were supposed to do in like a really shitty 90s parody style commercial. It's like, here's the things you can do. Isn't this awesome?
Yeah,
Silly analogy. Ha ha.
It was just horrible.
Oh my god. It is
And that was
the
all
entire Mighty Number 9. The entire history of Mighty Number 9 is just a snowball effect that is gloriously turning into an avalanche of just terrible news. Like I am looking forward to hating a game for the first time in years. Like I don't even feel this way when I get Dark Souls.
Well, you know what's gonna happen in 2 weeks?
What?
You're gonna be happy about? The game is gonna come out, so you'll have your hands on the game
Thank
in 2 weeks.
fuck!
Yeah. So we're 2 weeks away from having that game in our hands.
Yeah, having that game along with the Retro Hero DLC.
And if you want the physical edition, you can just buy
Okay,
it.
the fucking
Yeah.
Minecraft skin they call retro.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to our final news topic. So IGN revealed a new game. It's from the guys that made Saints Row, so that's Volition, and the game is called Agents of Mayhem.
You know, like, wouldn't this been better to wait until the conference to announce this new IP?
I don't know. I think it's fine. Who's gonna have this game at their conference if they didn't get like an outlet to announce it?
I mean, like, I feel like it would definitely be Sony.
Yeah. The thing is that Agents of Mayhem is also apparent. Like from what I saw of the trailer, from what I can grasp from the trailer, it looks like it's a spin-off of Saints Row.
Saints Row.
Because there's still the fleur-de-lis that you see in the trailer. That is like a symbol of the Saints Row, for like the characters in the gang you're in Saints Row.
Yeah. So the only footage we saw was a cinematic.
Yeah, it was all cinematic. Yeah.
Yeah. We will see gameplay. I believe it's still through IGN, maybe next week.
Yeah.
So that's a new IP that I look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we can take away from this is that if it's Volition and their new IP, then I really wonder why it's gotten so negative. It's because they've proved their worth essentially. With the past few, with like Saints Row 3 and 4, they've proven that they can make an open world sandbox that is equally silly as much as it is fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, Saints Row has always been the parody competitor to Grand Theft Auto, and that's like the big thing. It was like if you're not a fan of the serious tone with some humor on the underside, just based on the reality of the real world, then you'll like Saints Row 3 and like, look at this shit. You have a dubstep gun. You can run up walls and punch things. Have a dildo sword. Here you go.
Yeah. So
I know that's Saints Row.
that's Saints Row. Yeah.
It is a beautiful game. A beautiful game.
Yeah. So we'll actually get to see some gameplay of this game soon. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I hope you get to be president of the United States again.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it for. I guess this is the last E3 Road to E3 segment that we're gonna have this year.
Yeah. The only.
Because next week
Yeah.
start E3. So that's that. We're looking forward to that. And we have plans in store for that, and we'll talk about that later. But before we do that, we're gonna do predictions for PlayStation's show. So well, I've done this on the Nintendo podcast last year, and I thought it would be a good idea to do it here. So what we're gonna do, each of us have 5 predictions. So we're just gonna go around and say one at a time until we say all of them. All right. And then on the next episode in 2 weeks, we'll see who won. Ready, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's start off with Kuro. What's your first prediction?
So I predict that we will see more news about the PS4K.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's it.
First one.
All right. Okay, Tyler.
I predict that we will see news about a Vita successor.
Yes. I hope so.
It has been 5 years, and the cycle between Sony handhelds has been 5 years.
The
Oh,
Vita
God.
is dead.
Yeah. And
It's been dead since 2014, so
yeah, I really doubt
either they're never going to do a handheld,
Yeah.
or
they're
we're
maybe
going to talk about it this year.
I don't know, that PS4 prints money like crazy, so I mean,
Yeah, but the PSP also printed a ton of money.
Yeah.
it was also hacked a lot.
Yeah, it's probably why it sold a lot.
Yeah, I would love a Vita successor, but I really doubt that's gonna happen anytime
I mean,
soon.
the
Maybe
Wii
they'll
also
stop
sold a
'cause-
ton.
Yeah.
If we're going to be completely honest, if we're talking about the fact that the PSP has been hacked and homebrewed so much, the Wii is like the master king of homebrew hacks and everything.
Yeah. And look at the Wii.
Yeah, the Wii is a huge thing.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I would love a Vita successor, but I really doubt that's gonna happen because they have VR in mind at the moment.
Yeah, that is very true.
If anything, they'll just kill it, and then later on they'll do another handheld. Okay, so my prediction. Okay, so let's see. I predict that we'll see Sucker Punch's new game, and it will be the rumored PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. That's my prediction. I really hope that I'm right, because Sucker Punch knows how to make a superhero game. Like Infamous.
Sucker Punch being
Infamous.
Infamous, okay.
Steps.
Got it.
So I think they have enough experience of making those types of games, and I think they can do it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Spider-Man game that is essentially a remake or a remaster or reboot of the Spider-Man 2 game. The Spider-Man 2 was an awesome Superman game or superhero game. Spider-Man 2 was a Superman game that was awesome.
You can fly around.
You could fly around as Spider-Man and
Just
shoot
Superman
webs.
64.
Superman shot webs out of his eyes. It was great.
All in HD.
1080p 30.
With trophy support.
No platinum.
No.
Ours is immediately no longer interested.
I'm not interested. All right. So Kudo, second prediction.
I expect to see a big push for VR this year, and the year after, actually.
I feel like that's a given considering that the VR is coming out this year.
Yeah.
Reportedly.
That's true.
No, but I mean, like, they're gonna dedicate a good portion of the conference.
That is true,
to
yeah.
VR.
That is true.
Okay.
And they will have a lot of demos set up.
Yeah.
You're playing it pretty safe this time. That's gonna happen. All right. So, Tyler, second prediction.
I predict that we will hear news about Naughty Dog's next IP.
So a new IP.
They did claim that they were done with Uncharted. This is essentially going to be a proving point over whether or not Sony will allow them to continue with a new IP that is no longer Uncharted or The Last of Us. We could even hear news about Crash Bandicoot. We'll see.
I know they're interested in that.
They were interested. I mean, there was an entire section in Uncharted 4 where you could play a semi-section of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Pretty cool callback.
But do you really want Naughty Dog to make a platformer?
They've done it. I mean, Come
But
on, 10 years.
again,
Yeah. To be fair, Uncharted is also a platformer action game.
I think what
or
you're
one
saying
of
is
those
that you want
cartoony
something.
platformers.
Yeah, I'd say so because we've kind of lost that in the years, and you've noticed that there is an interest still. I mean, you see Ukulele, you see A Hat in Time,
Yeah.
you see a lot of these games coming back and coming back with a vengeance. There is still interest.
I
And I
think
mean,
you
if
what
you've
you want is
seen
that
if
Naughty
you've
Dog is
seen the
doing
amount
something new
of
again.
yeah, if you've noticed, a lot of people specifically mentioned the fact that it was awesome that Naughty Dog did a callback of a Crash Bandicoot game in Uncharted. Like they're calling back to their heritage and everything. Like they know that there's interest for these games still.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of when,
So why
really.
not? So why not make? So they don't have the Crash
The
I mean,
rights to
Bandicoot,
it?
right?
they also
They don't have
there's
the rights
also
to
they
it.
also
So maybe Jack and Daxter.
yeah, maybe Jack, but I don't know. I think the Jack and Daxter trilogy was a trilogy as is, and that was fine.
Mm,
I mean, let's be honest here. Insomniac is probably going to go back to making a Ratchet and Clank game
Ratchet.
based
Yeah, I
on the
think they're gonna make
popularity.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there isn't a whole lot of word on if they want to do a new IP. They did do pretty well with Sunset Overdrive, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to see them try a new IP as well. But we'll see in time. Either way, I want to see if Naughty Dog has a new IP up their sleeve or if they're going to stick with what they've got and make a spin-off or a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Oh,
I
alright.
mean, we haven't really seen what they're up to yet, and it's not even
Well,
they
we
probably
know
wrapped up
what
production for a while.
we know what they're up to, or maybe they um just finished it. But they were doing single player Uncharted 4 DLC.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So that's another thing that we could see.
yeah, that is true.
Actually, like, the rental manager that I signed with for my lease in my apartment, her husband actually works for Naughty Dog, and I actually found out by accident, recently where the office is. It's actually by my college. But, I never see him at all. Like, I'm pretty sure I know what their car is, but I haven't seen it in, like, months. So, that could be an indication that he's
Things
like,
are busy.
yeah, because I think their license, because like the car I saw, it had like license plate frames. One was a Doctor Who one, and one was a Naughty Dog one. So I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because like as the a rental manager, she doesn't have to like she lives here, so she doesn't have to like leave. Like you basically like this happens where it's like a landlord lives, where they do their business essentially.
Right.
All right. So my second prediction is that Media Molecules game Dreams will support VR.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
That might be interesting, yeah, because they're allowing people to use the PlayStation Move with Dreams as well. So
Yeah.
combining that with VR would be a fantastic addition.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, that would actually make me more interested in the game. I'm not really excited for Dreams.
The thing about Dreams is that it's literally a sandbox.
Yeah.
Little Big Planet was a sandbox platformer. Tearaway was a sandbox puzzle adventure game. It looks like this is literally just a sandbox.
Yeah.
Like something that you can play with. You don't spend a whole lot of time with it, but you spend a few minutes here and there toying with some stuff, creating
I can
things.
definitely see VR going with it and just exploding.
Yeah.
So
VR going with that kind of concept where you can walk around and see a creation and play with it and everything. It sounds like a fantastic idea.
So it would make sense. Now the thing that turns me off of Dreams and any like sandboxing where I have to make my own levels and stuff like that, is that I don't think I'm very creative when it comes to like drawing or level design.
I mean, it depends like what you think of creativity as, and creativity can span a number of things. But it kind of depends like how much effort do you want to put in something. Like some people say that like it takes a lot of creativity to make a game, and it's like I don't think it takes so much as your drive to make it because it can be a real headache. But you have to be willing to like love your project like a child in order to like work through all of the kinks.
Yeah.
As someone who has actually spent time making games, creating things, working on concepts, building stories and everything, the scariest thing about making something is never knowing when you're done with it. But
Yeah, that's a big
it's
thing.
the fact that once you start it, you always want to add more to it. And
It, as a writer, it kind of depends. Like, you have to know, like, where does this end? And if you never actually make an ending for it, it's never going to end. And that's something you have to keep in mind is, like, if you're going to make a story, you need to know the beginning, the various important plot points, and then an end. You can't just be like, oh, it doesn't have an ending. No, that's problematic. Like, you're
yeah,
never going to finish it. It may never ever come out, actually. So, I mean, you have to kind of have an outline of it, and then you can go figure out the little details, along the way.
build what you want first and then add on to it later.
Yeah,
You
because
can start with the basics. You don't need perfection from the beginning. You need the basics to start, and then you can build from it, and then you
like
can expand and
one of
improve.
my workshop professors, she said that like to work on the scenes I liked first and wanted to work on first, then go to the scenes where I wasn't sure or like needed research or I wasn't comfortable with yet.
Yeah.
Scenes that maybe played on my own fears as a person.
Sometimes all you need is ideas of what you're confident with in order to build what you're not confident with.
But I mean, that's also why you have a team, because you can ask team members for their experiences or what they think, and you iron out the kinks with them. Some people
Yeah,
don't want to do that, but it's like you really do need feedback.
yeah,
Because otherwise, you're just in your own mind, and when you release something, it's not just yours anymore.
yeah. That's the thing about a dream project too. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy eventually.
But I mean, like, I expect it to actually do well. I think it just depends, like, how
I think dreams will be.
gamers react to it.
I think that's the thing about it really is that dreams is going to be niche. It's going to be something that a few people pick up on, and then they like it, and then they share it with their friends, and then it just keeps growing.
But I mean, we could do something with Blaze Kick with it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true.
So I mean, we have to keep an open mind for that game.
Yeah, it essentially it's a kind of thing where your creativity can run wild without restrictions. Like you only really need a simple idea, and then you can let that idea grow. It's like painting.
Yeah, that's what
You
the
start with
trailer was kind of like.
a tree, and then maybe a mountain. How about a river? Some more trees.
I actually
You know?
feel like it's going to be really good for some of us who maybe don't have an easy time visualizing what we want.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking about this recently with my photography class. Is like I actually just want to learn more and learn Photoshop instead of like waiting or hiring people to do illustrations for works. Why don't I just use my like camera and like a studio and my knowledge and just make my own sort of illustrations in a
Right.
sense with photography and Photoshop.
Yeah.
Just become my
That's
one-man team.
yeah. That's really it.
All right. So third prediction, Kuro.
I expect to see a trailer for The Last of Us 2
Ooh.
and a special edition PS4
Ooh.
because fuck it, hype.
All right. Tyler.
I am gonna throw a little curveball. I expect to see a new Valkyria Chronicles because
That
I
so
do find it pretty peculiar that Sega published Valkyria Chronicles Remastered on the PS4 and the PC, and they released a steelbook version for it. That's raising a couple flags for me.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something going on, maybe in terms of something related to Valkyria Chronicles, the universe at least, because Valkyria Chronicles does have a sequel on PSP in Japan, so there is a popularity still with it. I mean, it's there. It is still there. If God's Eater Full Burst can have a sequel, then why not Valkyria Chronicles?
All right. Okay.
I do think it's really peculiar that they re-released Valkyria Chronicles under a new name for PS4. Because Valkyria Chronicles Remastered wasn't called that on PC. It was just called Valkyria Chronicles.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. Valkyria Chronicles is awesome.
Yeah. I still have to play that.
It's great. You'll love it.
All right. So my third prediction is that Sony will announce a PS4 Neo and VR bundle. So a bundle that includes the both of them.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea, actually.
Yeah. People who are interested in VR will want a new console as well. So
Well, I mean, like, in order to do PlayStation VR, you have to have a PS4, so it's like...
that is true. Yeah. It's a good way to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my third one. So Kuro, what's your fourth?
I predict to see... What was it again? Like, I don't even expect to see, like, a PS Vita lineup, like not even, like, a slideshow at the last conference. Like, we don't even talk about it. We just show PS4 games.
Yeah. They know. They know.
They don't give a fuck.
The only PS Vita talk, the entire conference will be games that just so coincidentally happen to have crossplay.
Oh yeah.
And that'll probably be indies.
Like, my little hope is to see Danganronpa 3.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's coming out in Japan this summer, but like, it's gonna come out later in English, and I'm just like, give me my game. I don't want to watch the shitty anime.
Give you something that isn't Ultra Despair Girls.
Ultra Despair Girls was good. Shut the fuck up.
I much prefer the totally not Phoenix Wright gameplay of Danganronpa.
I know them, but it's a spin-off, and it does a very good job at what it fills in.
It does a very good job of being a spin-off, and that is being not the actual game at all.
It's still good.
Sorry, I like giving people crap whenever they go defensive, just to lighten the mood. Because I know some people that
Danganronpa child.
I don't. Whatever. I try to lighten the mood because I've talked with people and then I've joked about stuff like that before, and they've gotten pissed at me. So I usually joke about it a little bit to lighten the mood, or make you angrier. It depends on what kind of person you are, actually.
All right.
On my state.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, what's your fourth?
What was my fourth? I expect nothing but good things. No.
All bad things.
I expect to see an overview of the next Destiny expansion.
Yep.
Well, that's gonna happen.
They are going to be talking about it on stream and everything, but I think they're mostly going to. Yeah, they're going to. Bungie is going to stream about it. They're going to have a reveal tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
but
on the 9th.
I think it's going to be more about what's going to come with Destiny after this, because the game's been out for 2 years at this point. So this is going to be the point where we're either going to learn about what's going to happen with Destiny as a whole, or if there's going to be a sequel. It's going to be like what's next for Bungie in terms of Sony's contracts.
Okay.
Or Sony Activision.
Yeah, I can see that then. All right, so my fourth one is that we'll see Sony Bend's new game. It will be a new IP.
Sony what?
Bend Studios. You know, the guys that made Uncharted Golden Abyss and the hit Vita game Uncharted Fight for Fortune.
What?
Remember that game?
No.
What?
It's the Uncharted card game. Fight
No.
for Fortune. Yeah, it's on
I
Vita.
remember this shit.
And they made Resistance on PSP. No, nothing. Siphon
Nope.
Filter, PlayStation. Okay.
No.
Oh, I know about Siphon Filter, but
Yeah, so they made that. And recently they've been making just like not spin-offs, but other games from other franchises that like Naughty Dog didn't make that Vita game. Sony Bend did it. So that's my prediction. And it will be a new IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last game they worked on was Uncharted Fight for Fortune, and that was in 2012. So they've been dormant for a while.
Yeah, they better have been working on a big project.
Yeah. So Kuro, fifth.
One IP from a newcomer, because they are getting more people coming into E3 this year. So I expect to see at least one IP from a new company and a trailer for it.
A brand new third party?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an article past 2 weeks saying that there was going to be more vendors, more companies, new indies. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting to see at least one new IP from said new company or new indie game. Whether or not it will actually come to release is a whole other story for a whole other podcast.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, Tyler, fifth one.
Oh boy. I expect to see something. Oh boy, I forgot what my fifth was. This is a problem with not sleeping. All right. Well, I expect to see at least 3 pre-order options for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Well, that's confirmed. There's a Legacy Edition, the normal one.
Oh
and
right,
the
you're right.
Collector
I
Edition,
can't.
so-
All right, I can't do that. That was my throwaway in case I forgot, which I did. Damn it.
Do you want me to come back? I can do my fifth.
Yeah, that'd
Okay.
be nice.
All right. Okay, so my fifth one is that Ni no Kuni 2 will be shown again, and it will be given a 2017 release window.
Well, make sure it wouldn't be 2016 though.
I really doubt they're gonna release it in 2016. So that game's gonna come out in Japan first, then we'll get over here. And we haven't heard anything about that game for Japan. So
I know we're not going to hear anything about Psychonauts 2 because the Kickstarter was only back last October.
I think so. Yeah. No, was it? I think it was during PlayStation Experience. So December.
Yeah, let me go Google it. I'll Psychonauts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was during PlayStation Experience. So it was December.
Psychonauts 2.
So Tyler, you have your fifth? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I expect Square Enix to surprise us with yet another surprise.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
January. It was in January, so no, we're not going to hear anything.
I expect Square Enix to surprise us with yet another project that they've been keeping secret.
Kingdom
Probably
Hearts
not.
3.
Yeah, well, no. They've already done a gameplay for that and everything.
Or
Release
another
a
spin-off.
date for Kingdom Hearts 3, goddammit.
Yeah, we already know about Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.7 Remix,
No, it's
Ultra
2.8.
Super Alpha EX Edition. Taking ideas from fucking Capcom and their Street Fighter titles. I expect to see something maybe tied to a franchise that hasn't really been seen in a while, of maybe the Mana series or Parasite
Please give
Eve.
us just give us a real Mana game.
I mean, we got close. We got close for a while, and then not with their MMO free-to-play on mobile. That's Japan only.
I just want something like the classic.
But if they
They did re-release the original Second Densetsu recently, the Final Fantasy Adventure original. So they're a Secret of Mana remake or something, or a port, hopefully with online play, because nobody wants to play Secret of Mana locally.
What about Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger. It would be interesting. I know this is like fucking gamers' fantasy here, but it would be pretty sweet to see them make a remake, do a port of Chrono Trigger with that fan-made hack Crimson Echoes, but like a complete version.
1 minute. So Persona 5 website finally gives you the links to the pre-orders.
All
Okay.
of them?
Just so you know.
All of them,
Mhm.
even Best Buy?
It gives Amazon, GameStop, EB, Amazon Canada, Best Buy Canada, BestBuy.com, Fry's.com, Walmart.com, Target.com, and VGP.Canada.
Okay.
And it's like there's different ones for like there's a premium edition, launch edition, there's PS3, so give you all the retailer links.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have an extra one? Just want to throw it out there.
I already forgot my fifth one, so I don't think you should expect me to remember my sixth. But yeah, the whole thing about Square Enix is that I know that they're going to showcase Final Fantasy VII Remake. They're going to showcase Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, the Final Fantasy XII HD port, probably. World of Final Fantasy they're probably going to show as well. Kingdom Hearts 3 is undoubtedly going to be shown along with Kingdom Hearts 2.8, whatever. But I'd like to see them surprise us with something that we haven't seen in a long time. The Mana series would be really nice.
Yeah.
But Chrono Trigger would be a nice surprise as well.
All right. So
Even though, let's be honest, it would probably be a sequel to Chrono Cross because that's
Chrono
technically
Cross,
the
yeah.
sequel.
So I did have an extra one just in case, and I'm just going to throw it out there because I know it's not going to happen at all.
Yeah.
And it was that Sony will announce a new first-party Vita game. So, yep.
I think my sixth one, just to joke around with you, I think my sixth one is going to be that they're going to announce the Vita 2.0. And it is essentially going to be what they made the PSP go.
Oh, all digital.
Except, yeah, just a budget version of the Vita. Just like, please buy more Vitas.
Yeah.
I already bought a PS TV. I don't really have much use for a PS Vita yet.
You should still get it. I think you should get one.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it very heavily.
Okay, you know there are going to be clearance stuff, some like at Walmart eventually.
Of course, I can get one for $100 easy.
Yeah. So,
but I don't have money.
Just wait. It'll happen.
You wanna buy me a Vita, Arms?
If I can find it cheap enough, yeah, I'll buy it.
Sweet.
All right, so that's it for our predictions. Let us know what you guys think. What are your predictions for PlayStation's for Sony's PlayStation's conference? And yeah, so in 2 weeks we're gonna see who won.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty confident. I think I'm confident in my predictions. All right, so let's try to wrap it up because we've been doing this for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so plugs for this episode. Anything to plug, guys? A review, maybe?
Actually, I'll just plug in my Twitter. My Twitter name is demon_sorceress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple of things to plug. I'm going to plug my Doom review. That even though it was reviewed on the Xbox One, it is a general review for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So give that a read if you're interested in a really fast, rewarding, visceral FPS that knows it's Doom and wants you to play like it's Doom. And also today, 7th is when this is going to go up at 3 p.m. The schedule for our first ever BlazeKick live E3 show.
Ooh, nice.
You'll be able to see the schedule of when we go live with the show. You'll be able to join us and discuss reveals that are going to be on during the E3 live and everything. It's going to be generally just a good time. You'll see us there probably for some of them, handling a lot of the writing for any news that does come out on the website as well. So you'll be able to keep up with news even if you're not watching the stream. But come along, say hello, maybe hang out, talk to us about reveals. We'll be doing discussions with pre-shows, bring along a couple guests that aren't a part of the BlazeKick group right now, just to discuss reveals and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, go check that out and meet us on the 12th when E3 does kick off. We'll drag you in kicking and screaming because the first conference is EA, and we all know that we're going to be talking about sports.
Yeah, FIFA 17, yeah.
And then
FIFA 17.
And I
Hooray.
get to cover E3 live on Wednesdays, so I will be back on the site with stuff about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be keeping that kind of stuff a secret because we don't know 100% for certain what we will get for the channel, but we will see. We will see in time, but we will have stuff for you.
I will something grading.
Yeah.
Once I get back.
We have stuff for you. We have stuff. We have stuff. Don't worry.
All right. So I do have something to plug. I worked on a video that I'm probably gonna publish soon. I'm definitely gonna do it before E3. It's a Flashfire. It's for Persona 4 Golden. I'm just gonna play for it. I'm gonna play like 20 minutes of it and then just talk about it because I want to get you excited for Persona 5 and other Persona games. So I'm gonna have that before E3, so before Sunday. And yeah, like Tyler mentioned, all the E3 coverage that we're going to do, so make sure to check out our website there. You could also go to patreon.com/BlazeGeeks to back us up over there. If you pledge $1, you get early access to the audio version of this podcast and to Nintendo Unleashed, and you also get access to the BlazeGeek podcast, which is a Patreon exclusive podcast, so it's only available for patrons. So, and you only have to pledge $1 to do that. So,
and then our $5
every little bit
tier.
helps.
Yeah, every bit helps, and we do have a $5 tier. Now that we are starting to produce video content, you will get that video content a day early.
Yeah, and for now it's just Flashfire. It's not all. It's just Flashfire for now. For that, we're trying to do just lock the Patreon stuff for video series, not just any old video. So yeah, for now it's just Flashfire. So if you're a $5 Patreon, you'll get the Persona 4 Flashfire that I'm working on a day early.
Remember, guys, it's a two-way street. You support us, we'll make content. We make content. You're happy, you support us.
Yeah, it's a matter of we just need a way to help improve our content.
Exactly.
And the money goes straight into the website. We'll be able to improve the website's performance. Any future updates for the website will be because of you guys. Also, equipment for some of the people who work with us, getting them equipment that improves the overall quality of our content is a must for what we plan on doing for the future for all of you.
Yeah, that way we can provide content on a daily basis rather than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think we have our first goal. I think it's $20 a month.
Yeah, $20 a month, and we will do daily content.
Daily content. Yeah.
This is a big deal for us. A lot of us here are very devoted to this project, and we want to continue doing it for as long as possible. Yeah. And we can't do it without you guys. So.
Exactly. And then I do have another thing to plug. I forgot. So I mentioned it on Unleashed last week that I want to do like a live episode of that. So if you like Nintendo, maybe check out that podcast so you can have more information about that live episode that might happen in a month or so. And we'll have giveaways on that too. So yeah. Okay, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/BlazeGeekMedia. And you can subscribe to our iTunes and Google Play feeds for this podcast. If you're on iTunes, make sure to review it. That always helps. I don't think you can review a podcast on Google Play, but it helps if you just subscribe and share it with your friends.
I think you can share it. I think you can share on Google Play at the very least.
Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah, this podcast I think it's popular on Google Play. We have a good amount of subscribers there, so.
And now we're doing the video portion. So
yeah. Reaching out to every medium for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, this video is we've been doing this. This is the first time we do this for this podcast.
Yeah.
For this
first time
podcast.
For PlayStation Point, but
we did it for our BlazeGeek podcast.
Well, we were testing it out with BlazeGeek to make sure we were getting all the kinks out.
Yeah.
And
it
now we
works.
got all the kinks out. We can start doing this for other podcasts too if we want.
Yeah. And then over time, all the podcasts will probably have a video format to them. And
Ultimate goal is to be in the same place and actually not doing this.
over Skype or
Google
right now Google Hangouts.
One
Yeah.
day. That's
One
the
day.
dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Get an office lease.
California.
Yeah.
California. Yeah.
All right. And lastly, follow us on Twitter. I'm at ArmsMXZ. Tyler, what's your Twitter?
Well, I ought to be at Replay Heretic.
And Kuro.
I'll plug it in again at Demon Sorcerer. No, it's Demon_Sorcerer. I keep forgetting that.
And Blazekick is at Blazekick Tweet. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the PlayStation Point. We'll be back in 2 weeks with all the E3 news that we're gonna get from Sony's press conference. That's gonna be a fun episode.
Bye, guys.